like I've done enough.
All right, so you get out of prison after serving all this time, right? And
Yep.
then your dad picks you up, as you said, and they take you to Walmart.
Yep.
That's where we left off at.
Right on. Yeah, so I had to get some clothes. I mean, I didn't have nothing all those years. I didn't have anything, you know, and I mean, it was all gone. That's normal, what happens. But yeah, they hooked me up with some clothes and some shoes and socks, basic stuff, socks, underwear, tank tops, and I was good to go, man. I was feeling boss, getting with some Walmart clothes.
Right.
It wasn't prison blues.
Right.
You know?
So,
But yeah,
okay.
It was a good thing.
All right, so I know you said you went to get to the steakhouse, so you had your first steak. That was the first thing you wanted to eat when you got out.
Yes, sir.
Then you got your clothes, you feeling fresh, finally out of that prison shit or shit that was sitting in prison, either way.
Oof.
And now it's time to decide what you're gonna do with the rest of your life now out of prison, man. What was that mindset about? What was going through your head?
So I had a friend of mine that lived up in Panama City Beach, who was pretty close to where I got released from, and he had lived up there for a few years. I hung out with my dad for a couple days, and he had to go back to Chicago.
Right.
So he left me with some cash, all the stuff that he bought me, whatnot, and my homeboy came and picked me up. So I hung out with him for about 2 days, and my plan was shooting back down to Broward County, Fort Lauderdale area, and I had all my homeboys were waiting on me. So he got me a plane ticket. I flew out of Tallahassee and North Florida, and my homeboy picked me up at Fort Lauderdale at the airport down there, and I stayed with them at his mom's house probably for a couple of weeks before I hooked up with a couple females and moved in with a few people. Right. And yeah, it didn't take long. Then I ended up meeting my wife probably about 8 months later, and we ended up getting married, you know, and which at the time it was pretty rough because I had caught another case right before I met her when I had gotten home, and it didn't take long, man. I was right back into the swing of things with all my homeboys down in Lauderdale, and got into some more shit and ended up getting married. My wife was pregnant. She was about 7 months pregnant, and I ended up going to the county jail. I was fighting it on the streets. I had bailed out on the charge, and I was fighting it for a while, and they ended up giving me another 14 months in prison. Wow. So while I was locked back up the second time, my wife gave birth to my son, my first kid. Damn. And yeah, it sucked, man.
So your first kid was born while you were incarcerated?
What's that?
So your first child in life was born while you were incarcerated?
Yeah, and he'll be 16 this March. Ooh, so yeah, he was born in 2004, and I got locked up January of 2004. He was born in March 2004, and I didn't get home until I think March or April of 2005. I got back out. So he was just at a year old. Yeah, you know, and yeah, it sucked, man.
And you've been there since, though.
Yeah, oh yeah. And I did get in trouble again when I first when I got out again because I had no license, but I had to work. I had a car, and so I got busted a lot for driving because I was well known around the neighborhood. Plus, I was driving a Mustang at the time, which I'm in a Mustang. Yeah, I got a Mustang again. I'm sitting in now, which is my kid's car. God bless them. But yeah, well, driving without a license was my biggest hurdle when I first got out, and because they were catching me left and right. But that was the only other trouble I got into once I got out. All my main shit, man.
Okay, so now we got to get the people what they want to know. What are you doing now to either show your kids or show society that we can make it after we go through whatever shit we go through in life?
Yeah, well, I own my own business. I'm a painter. I've been a painter for a really long time. Even when I was locked up, I was working on the work crews. I was a painter. Okay. So I had a lot of experience to that when I got home, and I started my own business up about 3 years ago.
Good shit.
I got a couple guys that work for me. I stay pretty busy. I just had neck surgery done a week before Thanksgiving of this past year. They went through my throat to get to my neck. And so I've been out of commission for a couple months, but I'm getting back into the swing of things. My guys love it.
That's what we do.
But yeah, I stay busy, man. Where I live at now, I moved out of Fort Lauderdale. We moved up to where I'm at now for probably about 14 years ago.
Okay.
And my kids are good for the most part. They like to fight, and they got a lot of friends, and it's just they're young kids, man. They're my boys.
Right.
I mean, I can't stop that.
Right.
But yeah, I try to stay busy. I do a lot of things with them. We do a lot of fishing. I'm sitting at the river right now, looking at the water, and the breeze is going through the car.
Right.
We hit the ocean a lot. I'm 5 minutes away from the beach.
Oh, that's beautiful.
A lot of surfing. Just try to stay busy, man. That's the biggest
what's up.
thing. Stay out of the people's way and do your thing.
Right.
You know,
Okay. So,
that's the
like,
best advice you can give.
as you know, like, we're close to the end. If it's anybody you want to give a shout out to, or send love to, or whatever you want to, anybody you want to holler at, this would be the time for you to do that now. Or any YouTubes or whatever, Instagram you want to plug in, whatever.
Well, first I want to give a big shout out to you for having me on your channel.
Of course.
I much appreciate it. Much respect to you. Joey from Free from Fetters Grove. I met up with him. I went down to his house. He don't live far from me. Really good dude. He's doing his thing. He's helping people out with all his new stuff he's got going on with him.
Oh yeah.
Much respect to Joey.
Absolutely.
And a lot of respect to all my homeboys that I did time with. They probably watching this shit on their phone. You know. when I was in the joint, we didn't have cell phones. They weren't around too much back then.
Absolutely.
But I know all my homeboys got it. So what's up to all them guys?
Absolutely.
Much respect to them. Keep your heads up. To all the kids out there, keep your noses clean, man. Don't get into the bullshit. And especially if you have family that done time, or fuck parents that done time. They do it for you. You ain't got to do it.
Yeah.
Don't stay out of the shit, man.
Yeah, it
do
ain't
your
fun.
thing. Yes, do your thing, and have fun, but stay out of the shit and have respect for people and the people around you, even if you don't know them. You know, it don't matter white, black, Spanish, Oriental, purple, green. I don't care what you are, man. You bleed the same as I do, and I learned that a long time ago. But much respect to everybody out there, and thank you to you, bro.
All right. Well, all right, everybody in the kennel. First of all, this is the end of this one. Another fire interview. You guys already know what to do. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, man, so y'all can keep seeing this content. But if you don't do nothing else in life, man, stay loyal to you, man. All right, bro. Thanks again, brother.
Appreciate you.